Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand. Al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, and you're listening to...
The Promo Show!
Good morning, friends. How you doing out there in Radioland? If you're joining us live, or you're one of our delicious podcast listeners, it is Monday morning, friends. A big salutation to Born to Iron Man, Vero, Pedro, Momabo, and Min joining us in the chat. The definition of an international show today. We've got the UK, we've got the Netherlands, we've got Spain. Well, guys, we're killing it. How are you doing this morning? Hopefully you had a good weekend. I know I did. Lots of rest and relaxation. What have we got coming up in the show? Well, I might last minute change the 100 humans if I have time over the break, so I'll keep that to myself for now. In Complete the News, we find out what has appeared in San Francisco Bay and is leaving boaters, you know, people who sail boats, what is leaving them on edge. On edge. Que se pone en vilo, would you say? Put on edge? Do I get a nivelazo for that, friends? I have no idea. And if we have time, we'll look at what Canadian authorities are looking to capture. Woo! So cryptic, Rob. Yeah, I know. And then, all that fun, my friends, in the second half of the show. In the first half, we have an amazing, unpopular opinion, kind of more of an adult one than usual, with regards to the idea of casual sex. I know for our international listeners, you may need a bit of an explainer on what casual sex is. I'm prepared to do that. But right now, guys, I'm here. You're here. Let's see what's going on in the world. So my mum is in the chat. How are you doing, Mum? My mum and I, we chat mostly through radio shows. It's not true. Okay, so let's see what's... well, I'll tell you something. For those of you who live in Madrid like I do, if you're international listeners, this show is produced in the heart of Spain, in Madrid, in the very center of the Iberian Peninsula. Yesterday we, here we go, Born to Iron Man, on edge, nervous, tense, irritable.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Yesterday afternoon, if you're anything like me, you went into full panic mode because your mobile phone just went off for no reason with an alert. So I was sat there playing video games in my happy place when my mobile phone started to make a strange noise that I'd never heard before. And it was an alert. I'm going to cover this news via Reuters before I get into my own personal experience with this. Madrid residents told to stay at home as torrential rain sweeps across Spain. True story. On September the 3rd, 2023, Madrid's mayor urged residents to remain indoors due to anticipated torrential rain and storms sweeping across parts of Spain. So true story, torrential rain in Madrid yesterday, or as we call it in England, rain. Jeez Louise. Like, Madrid is not prepared for weather. This is not a city you live in for weather. Dude, I mean, Madrid needs to be better prepared for torrential rain, snow, the cold. It's like, you know what I mean? Madrid is prepared for heat and little else. But it is true, we did all get an alert on our mobile phones last night, sending at least me into a panic. Because when I think torrential rain, I contextualize it through England, right? And you look out the window, you see rain, as I saw yesterday in Madrid. And I think torrential rain, oh my God. Like literally buckets are going to be falling from the sky. But yeah, apparently it was a lot bigger deal than I gave it credit. Here we go. Let's continue with this news. The National Weather Agency declared a maximum red alert, indicating potential extreme danger for areas including Madrid, Toledo, and Cadiz. Cadiz there in the south of Spain. Predictions suggested that Madrid could experience up to 120 litres of rain per square metre within 12 hours. Despite warnings, many locals were seen outdoors. I've got to admit, First thing I did was went outside. Torrential rain. I've got to see this. Stay indoors, folks. I know. I mean, come on. Let's see what people are saying. Mama Boy's here, and we're going to talk about casual sex, says Min. I know. If I'd have known, we would have done which cake is the best. Let's see. Everyone's saying good morning to Mama Boy. Let's see. Pedro. Victims of the storm in Madrid, 0. Victims of the alert with a heart attack, 52,000. True story. I mean, did it seem like that big a deal to you guys? I looked out the window and I've seen heavier rain in Spain. I mean, mainly on the plane. No, I'm joking. Come on. But yeah, I mean, it was weird, and I can understand why many people reacted like I did. Like, really? Let me go outside and see this. And I went out on the street, and other people like me, slack-jawed, mouth open, thinking, is this really worth sending me a message on a Sunday afternoon? Red alert. Are we serious here? Emergency services texted residents about potential flood risks, advising against vehicle use. Oh, yeah, dude. And there were a lot of cars on the road. I live right next to the M30, so I see it all. So anyway, La Liga match in Madrid was postponed because of the weather alert. Well, some good news. And areas like Alcanar in Tarragona experienced severe flooding after receiving substantial rainfall. So do you have any stories? Any nightmare stories? I texted a bunch of friends yesterday. No, nothing. Is it flooding near you? Are you swimming to work? No, just rain. Anyway, there you go. Torrential rainfall in Madrid. Let's move on. Oh, friends. Kind of sad news in the world of tech. Microsoft is killing off a program that has been on your computer for at least since the year 1995. If you have a PC like me, you'll be very used to seeing this. What program is Microsoft killing off? Is it depreciating? Oh, friends, it's WordPad. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Not Notepad, not Bloque de Notas if you're watching in Spanish. WordPad, which is like the bigger brother of Notepad. Microsoft elimina WordPad in Microsoft Windows después de 28 años. I mean, all right, I get it. No one uses WordPad. If anything, maximum thing you're going to use is Notepad, right? For your cutting and pasting, saving random notes on your desktop. So WordPad is about to disappear. This news coming from bleepingcomputer.com. Microsoft has decided to depreciate WordPad, a basic text editing application that's been a part of Windows operating system since 1995. The company did not provide an exact timeline for the change. WordPad allowed users to create, edit, formatted text documents. So what's the difference between WordPad and Notepad? If you've ever used either of these tools, you know. It's like a hybrid between Notepad and a very, very basic version of Word. Microsoft Word. The program we only know because we use it in our work lives. Does anybody actually use Microsoft Word outside of work? So yeah, eventually they are now killing off the app. Let's continue with this news. WordPad allowed users to create, edit, formatted text documents, including the ability to add images and links. Microsoft now recommends the Microsoft Word app for those who used WordPad. And what does a Microsoft Word app do? It charges you money, friends. All right. Just use Google Docs, right? Just use Google Docs, a part of the Google Drive family, you know, and you can do more with it. I don't know. Do you just get the feeling that big tech companies are in a panic, just trying to scrape every last bit of money out of your pockets before they eventually all go defunct thanks to AI? And we have one more piece of news. Oh, where do we go? Because I have quite a few. Let's go to a prehistoric bird. I'm not talking about the dodo, my friends. No. I'm talking about a different bird. A prehistoric bird believed to be extinct returns to the wild. So this article from GreekReporter.com discusses the successful conservation efforts in New Zealand that have led to the return of the takai bird, a species once believed to be extinct. 18 of these large flightless birds were recently released in Lake Wakatipu, in New Zealand. Can I just say something, friends? Can we... Oh, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I'm going to get a lot of hate. Not a fan of flightless birds, my friends. If you're going to conserve something that is at least fit to live on this planet. How long do you think a swimless fish would survive in the wild? It's a fish, but it can't swim. What the hell? A flightless bird. You know what I mean? Oh, but penguins. I mean, come on. Whatever. At least penguins can swim really well. Like, if you see this thing, have you ever seen those images, those drawn images of dodos? It's just basically a colourful dodo. And massive. So these things have come back. A prehistoric bird re-released into New Zealand's South Island, making their first appearance in the area in nearly a century. They are native to New Zealand and have unique ecological roles, and had been declared extinct in 1898 due to predation by invasive species. Basically, they got eaten. Flightless bird. Need I say more? Like a walkless mammal. What's the point in being a bird if you can't fly? How are you doing, Nessa? Nessa joining us from Spain. I love penguins, says Vero. Yeah, me too. At least they can swim. They've adapted. Like, this thing basically looks like a basketball with legs. Chicken, says Nessa, yeah. I wonder if these things are as delicious as chickens. We see Kentucky fried, what are these things? Kentucky fried tacky birds? Maybe that's why we're bringing them back. You've got to see a picture of this thing, guys. As always, I will cut and paste all the news articles with a brief explainer, just in case they're behind a paywall for you, in my Patreon. If you want to join me on Patreon, you can do that. Patreon.com/professional bohemian. So yeah, we amidst the climate and ecological disasters that are going on in the world right now, a little bit of glimmer of hope for this one prehistoric useless bird. I don't care what you say, it's useless. A flightless bird. A swimless fish. Whatever. All right, guys, let's move on to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
Okay, friends, what even is an unpopular opinion? Well, let me tell you. Let me illuminate you, my friends. An unpopular opinion is a brain fart. Es un pedo cerebral, un pedo mental, una rayada. I share it with you on my Instagram, and you guys vote. That's at Professional Bohemian. That's Bohemio Profesional, pero en inglés. I share it with you there. You give me your initial feelings so I can figure out how hard I have to fight on this one. And then we discuss it. The actual decision makers are the people joining us live in the chat. So very important that you vote on this one, my friends. Okay, here we go. What is today's unpopular opinion? All consensual sex is casual sex. I don't know if you have an equivalent of the phrase casual sex in Spanish, but essentially it's defined in dictionary.com or in the dictionary as sex between two adults outside of a committed relationship. I think you say sexo casual, no? I don't know. You'll have to tell me in the chat. But my argument is the nomenclature is wrong because sex is the same. There is no such thing as formal sex or business sex. Ergo, there should be no such thing as casual sex. I thoroughly tortured the elves this morning to provide us with some pro and con statements. Let's get into this. In the pro column, agreeing with the statement that all consensual sex is casual sex. Let's go into it. The definition of casual. Some might argue that if two individuals mutually agree to engage in a sexual act without any pre-existing formal commitment, it's inherently casual, regardless of the emotions involved. Exactly. If I burp outside of a committed relationship, it is not a casual burp. It's just a burp. If I fart, tirarse un pedo, outside of a committed relationship, it's not a casual fart. All my farts are quite casual, friends. So why do we make the distinction between sex in a committed relationship and not? Anyway, let's continue. Proponents might argue that consensual sex emphasizes the freedom and choice of the individuals involved. By classifying it all as casual, we acknowledge the agency of the participants in their own decision making without societal constraints. Let me unpack that. You know, when we rob the act of sex of being casual or not, what we do is we emphasize that people have the choice whether in a relationship or not. You know? Okay, let's continue. Labeling all consensual acts as casual might help in reducing stigma around sex, emphasizing that any mutual act is valid irrespective of the nature of the relationship. Next, by linking consensual and casual together, the statement underscores the primary importance of consent in any sexual activity. Okay, so those are the pro columns. All consensual sex is casual sex. Let's see very quickly what people are saying in the chat. Well, obviously, the physical act isn't any different, says Min. True story.
That gets the Provost stamp of approval.
A bar fight is the same as a professional boxing match because both sides want to punch each other. That's a great... let's take this... Let's rob the stigma of... Let's rob the stigma from sex for a second. Okay? So if you get into an argument with your partner as opposed to a friend... When you're arguing with your friend, is it a casual argument? And when you're arguing with your partner, are you making disagreements? Because that's a message that I got at least 5 times. No, when I'm in a committed relationship, I'm making love. Ah, yeah. What's the difference? Okay, now I'm gonna get a slew of messages about eye contact and just this fireworks shot. I mean, look, I don't want to be too glib. I know most of you have strong feelings on this. I'm not going to be too glib. But the actual act, what you're doing, is the same. Those 5 seconds of magic, 10 if you're going to order pizza, they're all the same. It's all the same. We don't need to distinguish between casual and business sex or corporate sex or... You know, to give it its name within a couple making love. I think we need to rob, as a society, we need to rob sex of the stigma it's received over the years. I mean, it is just an act. It's just an act. Okay, let's continue. So disagreeing with the statement. Here we go, which is where a lot of you lay today. Let's see. All consensual sex is casual sex. Disagreeing with this statement. Not all consensual sex outside the bonds of committed relationships. Not all consensual sex is outside the bonds of committed relationships. Many committed couples, including those in marriages, engage in consensual sex. Classifying their intimacy as casual, this diminishes the depth of their connection. Human relationships are complex, and the reasons for engaging in sexual activities vary widely. Labeling all consensual acts as casual oversimplifies the diverse range of human emotions and reasons. Next, casual sex can have a deep emotional significance for many individuals, whether it's their first time with a new partner, within a long-term relationship, or after an emotional event. After an emotional event? Oh my God, I just won the lottery. Okay, next. Potential misunderstandings. Using the term casual universally could lead to misunderstandings, as one person's understanding of casual might differ from another. This could inadvertently undermine the importance of clear communication and in intimate relationships. Oh, I should have beat the elves harder. I'm not saying that all sex should be called casual sex. I'm just saying all sex should be called sex. We should rob it of this weird kind of stigma that it's gained over the years. You know, I feel like a lot of people are just way too, way too driven by the sexual act, and that's because we in society tend to label this thing or give it kind of more importance than I think it really actually does deserve. Vero says, if there's real love between lovers, sex is not casual. But what is it? Is it formal? Do you shake hands after? Very, very nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you too. You know what I mean? It's all casual. I would argue that it's all casual, but the label casual is kind of defunct. And if anything, it only goes to diminish the act in relationships, in any relationship, whether that be the initiation of a relationship, maybe you're dating, and you finally kind of flow past the state of just casual interactions into dinner, and then eventually it leads to this sex act. Is that casual? Is that not casual? Why do we feel the need to label everything? You know, why do we need to put sex in a pigeonhole when we don't do it with any other act? We don't distinguish between fighting or arguments or burping or coughing. Sorry, it was a casual cough. So why do we feel the need to do it with sex? You know, I think this is a bit of a hangover from our religious past. And I think it's time we should call an end to it. Let's continue. Let's see what Min is saying here in the chat. I think the main thing is that the casual doesn't refer to the sex itself, but the relationship with the person. Or maybe even more important, the responsibility and commitment to that person afterwards. Living with someone in the same house is a bit different than both agreeing it's a one-night stand. Okay, that's a fair point. But we don't call it casual relationships. Or we do. We do have labels for those relationships, but the act itself is the same. Okay, you know, we have friends with benefits to a one-night stand, to a committed relationship, to marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend. You know, I feel it's right to label those relationships to a certain degree. I mean, I'm kind of anti-labeling, full stop, but I do see some kind of rationality in labeling relationships. This is the level of commitment we're going to have for each other, right there. It's set in stone. Do we agree? But the sex act, you know, is there a difference between, like, do we feel the need to distinguish every act? Like, if you take someone out for dinner, and you're not married, is that casual dinner? and then you're making nom-noms if you're in a committed relationship. It just makes no sense to me. It's weird. Okay, let's see. Pedro says, I agree with the unpopular opinion. I've struggled to see the difference. We tend to glorify sex, but actually there's only good and kind of good sex. Sex is like pizza. Even when it's okay, it's good.
That gets the Probo stamp of approval.
Best 10 seconds of your life, friends. That's time for a cigarette after. I mean, you have friends with benefits, for example. Yeah, I get you. And I feel that because there is such a marked difference between the intimate relations, or when I say intimate relations, it kind of takes your mind back to sex. Within human relationships, there are differences. I don't treat my friends the same as I would treat my partner, for example. Okay? My partner, we are committed. However, if we weren't, you know, I would feel a need to kind of pigeonhole that so everybody around me could understand the nature of our relationship. Oh, no, we're friends with benefits. Oh, no, we're girlfriend, boyfriend. oh no, we're married. I get it. Because there is a strata in those relationships. There's a clear progress that is made in human relationships. But sex? Are you telling me that sex gets better? Or does it kind of plateau in a long-lasting relationship? I mean, is there a marked difference? Is it a difference in quality? Is it a difference in the time spent? How much hugging after? Tell me, what's the difference between casual and formal formal sex? It seems like the opposite, the antonym of casual would be formal or corporate. Are you having corporate sex or are you having casual sex? I don't know, guys. Seems a little bit weird to me. Hence today's unpopular opinion. All consensual sex, my friends, is casual sex. All right, guys, I'm going to ask you to vote in the chat right now and tell us all. Let's come to a conclusion. Is all sex casual sex? Okay, my friends, I don't think the word sex has been repeated so much on Fawn Radio. We're doing God's work, friends. All right, I'll be back after a few minutes, guys. So many things you could have been doing today. Instead of doing those things, you're here with me, and it means the world. See you soon. Hey, guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @probo, PROBOH. Okay, on with the show.
The Promo Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Oh, right at the end there was a vote came in. All right, well, I have the results of the poll, my friends. I have the results. I'm not going to tell you yet. But what I will tell you right now is what Instagram said. I'll tell you what Instagram said. So I made the statement, all sex, or all consensual sex is casual sex. And they said 76% false. Stop cheering, elves. Yeah, I don't know. 76% false is quite conclusive. So there you go. But it doesn't matter what they think. The only thing that matters is what you guys think in the audience. So let's see. Let's break this down. Let's go. Let's dig a little deeper, shall we? Let me tell you what you missed if you've just tuned in. We spoke a little bit about the weather alert that appeared on anyone living in Madrid's mobile phone. Scared the crap out of me yesterday. Torrential rainfall sweeping Madrid, or as we call it in England, rain. It wasn't that big a deal. We also looked at Microsoft eliminating WordPad. Yeah, the big brother of Notepad, Bloque de Notas, WordPad, where you could format text a little more. Yeah, Microsoft are killing that. They're saying if you want to edit a document, then use Word and pay for it, basically. So yeah, after 28 years, WordPad is retiring. It's going the way of the little Clippy. Do you remember that? If you're in the 90s, you'll remember Clippy. Would you like help with that? And then we looked at the prehistoric bird that has come back into the wild, the Takahi bird. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's a flightless bird. So yeah, get used to the idea of some Tahaki nuggets coming to a KFC near you. Flightless bird. Jeez. All right, and then we moved on to today's unpopular opinion, which is all consensual sex is casual sex. Or more to the point, it's just sex. We don't need to label it with any different. I think society already has stigmatized the act of sex enough. Do we need to help it along by complicating the nomenclature? I don't think so. I have the results here in the poll, but first I want to check out the chat and see what they're saying. I usually make my partner sign a contract, says Min. Nessa says, after almost 20 years with my partner, I can say it does get better. But I don't think either of you particularly... Okay. Oh, wow. How do I get into this? Let me continue reading the chat and we'll get into my thoughts later. Does it get better with your partner, though? Asks Min. Ooh, cheeky. Pedro says, I agree. I mean about sex with my partner, not with your partner. Talking to Nessa. Actually, I tend to think casual sex is less casual with a more intimate relationship. And that's a true story. That's true. Sex is way more casual when you're in a committed relationship. So why do we call sex outside of a committed relationship casual? You know, when you've been with a partner for a few years, you're not putting on the airs and grit. You know what I mean? It's Wednesday. There's nothing on TV. Let's get down to business. Casual. You know, we're not going to see your mum and dad tonight. It's business time. That is way more casual than outside of a committed relationship where you have to just put in a ton of work. So yeah, interesting thoughts here. I only opine about things I know, or I think I know, says Pedro. True story. Good morning, Rob. Happy to be here. The best place in the world to be. I'm so happy. Thank you, Bridge. We're happy to have you here. Thank you. The thing, I think, when people refer to casual sex, in general, this is coming from Nessa, they're just stating it as a one-night stand, nothing further. Sorry you're not voting today because I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the topic. No, I mean, casual sex would include, I guess, a one-night stand, but it includes things like dating outside of a committed relationship. I just think the nomenclature of casual is weird because there is no corporate sex. No one's saying, okay, shall we retire to the boardroom for sex? Put your shirt and tie on. You're not shaking hands afterwards and congratulating the participant in putting forward a good effort. It's all casual, isn't it? What does formal sex look like? I don't know. I'm shocked you do this in front of your mom, Rob. She's used to it. She knows that, you know. She knows that I went wrong. Okay, so there you go. All right. Should we get into the results of this poll? Are you ready for that? Or should we read some statements here? Let's go into a few comments that I got on Instagram. Maya says, from my perspective, there's a huge difference between consensual and casual sex. Just because it's consensual doesn't make it more casual. Again, another person kind of misinterpreting the topic there. I'll do a better job of writing the topics the rest of the week. Honestly, I think any type of consensual sex is casual. It all depends on how people involved see it. There's no strings attached and everyone's on the same page. Why not? Here's my main thoughts. Well, let me release the results of the polls for you all first. Okay, so I made the statement, all consensual sex is, at the end of the day, casual sex. Whether you're in a committed relationship or not, it's all casual. Why do we need the word casual there? Isn't it just sex? Okay, you guys said 60% false. Oh. You're all so romantic. But I bow to your greater knowledge, guys. I bow to your greater knowledge. You know, I'm not going to swim against the tide. I'm not going to be a salmon swimming against the flow, the current of the water. All I will say is this, okay? We need to destigmatize sex, you know, and everything related to it, from sex to nudity. And I think labeling sex outside of a relationship as in some way less important than sex inside of a committed relationship. Now, in a committed relationship, you're making love, and outside it's just casual sex. Makes no sense to me. It's weird. I mean, the act is important. It's important that two consenting adults initiate that kind of a physical relationship. That physicality is always going to become important. Labeling it as casual and labeling sex within a committed relationship, whether that's a marriage or a long-term relationship, I just find a little bit weird, odd, and ultimately wrong. If we diminish the importance of sex, or we put it on a pedestal, then I think we're sending the wrong message to individuals in society. If you were going to ask me, I would eliminate the word casual, full stop. You know? I just think it's a weird facet of nomenclature. And that's my thoughts. But you guys disagree. You think there is... you think you're romantics. You make love. All right, well, there you go. All right, that's today's unpopular opinion, guys. Let's move on to today's 100 humans. Ooh, it was a long walk to work to get today, guys, across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And on that walk, I encountered 100 humans, and I asked them all a question. I asked them to name something you'd find at most amusement parks. Name something you'd find at most amusement parks. Nombra algo que puedes encontrar en la mayoría de los parques de atracciones. I'm going to get myself.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
The bridge says, now surely Rob's mum knows Rob. Come on, true story. She had to deal with me for years before you guys. She deserves a Nobel Prize. Okay, so there we go. So name something that you find at most amusement parks. Something more specific than just rides. Come on. So you're going to need to do some translating here, guys, because there are several rides on here you may not know the names for. Okay. Not only rides, there are other things. I don't want to kind of lead you down the wrong road. Okay, so both Min and Pedro say roller coasters. Montaña rusa, I think you say in Spanish. Weird name, right? A Russian mountain. So here we go. A roller coaster. Is roller coaster there? Yes, it is. Well done, Min. Well done, Pedro. Roller coaster is there. And with 52 of 100 humans, it's the number one answer. Wow. We're on fire. We're on fire, guys. Roller coasters there. Well done. Okay, Vero says a candy shop. Min says a food tent. We have names for those. We call them concession stands. You know? Concession stands or food tents. I don't know what you call them. Concession stands. Is concession stands there? Of course it is. It's the fifth most popular answer, with 5 of the 100 humans saying concession stands. Let me just kick the translation, Elf. Puesto de venta, concession stand. Okay, let's... or kiosco, I think would be the more accurate way. Right?
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Did he just say kiosco? Like a native? I think he did. Okay, so there you go. So, candy shops, food tents, concession stands. Okay, Nessa says candy floss. Candy floss. In American English, cotton candy. British English, candy floss. Is candy floss there? Candy floss. Yes, it is. Well done. Candy floss is actually the second most popular answer, with 11 of 100 humans saying cotton candy, candy floss. I think you say algodón de azúcar. The poor the poor elf has no idea. Algodón de azúcar. Please correct me if I'm wrong with that one. Okay, let's continue. People, says Nessa. People. You know what? I'm going to give it to you. Why not? I mean, more than people, crowds of people, right? Like, you have to queue for hours to get on a ride. So, crowds. It's there. It's the 6th most popular answer. 5 of 100 humans said crowds. PJB's here. He says crying. Or crying kids, sorry. Oh. Crying kids.
That gets the Provost stamp of approval.
I want to go on the ride. And then they go on the ride. It was scary. Oh, that was a scary ride. Oh, you want your kids to use protection when they're having non-casual sex? Take them to amusement parks. Scare them. Those things are like condom commercials. All right, so crying kids or kids is there. It's the 7th most popular answer. Well done. 3 of 100 humans said that one. Okay, what have we got left? Ooh, just 2 more. And they're both rides. Okay, they're both attractions. Just to give you a clue. Pedro says a haunted house. Is a haunted house there? Great answer, but no, it's not. Pedro says, Min says, a Ferris wheel. A Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel, those big wheels that people sit in, they go round once. I think you call them a Noria, is that right? Noria, please tell me if I'm right or wrong with that one. Ferris wheel. Is Ferris wheel there? Yes, it is. Well done. It's actually the third most popular answer with how many? With 11 of 100 humans saying a Ferris wheel. Pedro said children. Children was there. Well done. Fast food. We kind of covered that with concession stands. Coches de choque. We call those bumper cars. Are bumper cars there? No, they're not. Tremendous answer. You're only missing one. You're only missing one. I'll give you a few clues. So, these are for really young kids or for selfies. You know what I mean? They don't give you any this particular ride doesn't give you any thrill. Let me see. It's a soft clue. Let's see if you get it. A park mascot, says Min. You know, like the guys who walk around Disney dressed as Mickey Mouse? A park mascot. Not there. Neither is Carnival Games by PJB. Great. Great answer. Stuffed toys, not there. Helter Skelter, says Min, not there. Algodón de azúcar is the most beautiful in the most beautiful Giri accent, says Bridge. Thank you. Okay. Min says a carousel. A carousel. Carousel in British English is a merry-go-round. Merry-go-round. Actually, is a carousel and a merry-go-round the same thing? I think it is. It's the ones where you ride on usually a horse, right? A merry-go-round. Merry-go-round. I think you call it a carousel. I think in Spanish, actually, it's a carrusel as well, or tío vivo, as Pedro says. Is carousel there? Is that the missing answer? Yes, it is. Well done, guys. Oh my God, you did it. I'm not saying I'm surprised. Well, I am surprised. Okay, so there we go. Let's reveal the answers. So I asked 100 humans to name something you would see at an amusement park. All right, let's get into this. In position number 7, we had kids, niños, kids. 3 of 100 humans said that one. In position number 6, with 5 of 100 humans saying this one, crowds, people, crowds, multitudes, I think you would say in Spanish, crowds. In position number 5, with another 5 of 100 humans saying this one, concession stands, or puestos de venta, concession stands, or kioscos. In position number 4, we had a merry-go-round, tío vivo, or carrusel, I think you say in Spanish. All right, in position number 4, no, elves, 3, thank you, was Ferris wheel, a Ferris wheel. Well done if you got that one. In position number 2, we had cotton candy, algodón de azúcar, cotton candy, or candy floss, as we would say in England. And finally, in position number 1, with 52 of the 100 humans, congratulations to Min and Pedro, it was a roller coaster. Montaña rusa. All right, there you go, friends. And on that note, let's go head first into today's Complete the News.
Complete the news.
Okay, I'm not sure I want to do that one first. Oh, yeah, why not? Okay. So this is Complete the News, guys. I'm going to give you a news headline, un titular, but I'm going to leave out some important information. If you're one of the many people watching the show but not interacting, this is your moment, because all you have to write is A, B, or C. Okay, in order to complete the news. Shall we go into the first one? We're going to go to America, specifically California. Appearance of blank in San Francisco Bay leaves boaters on edge. The appearance of blank in San Francisco Bay leaves boaters on edge. La aparición de blanc en la bahía de San Francisco tiene en vilo a navegantes y puertos deportivos. The appearance of blank in San Francisco Bay leaves boaters and marinas on edge. But what is it? Is it A, pirates? Is it B, sharks? Or is it C, orcas? I realize right now I've spelled pirate wrong in the in the visuals of the show. What do you think it is? A, B, or C? The appearance of blank in San Francisco Bay leaves boaters and marinas on edge and velo. Oh, what is this? Yeah, I know, I spelled it wrong. Okay, a lot of B's in the chat, a lot of C's. Everyone seems to think this is orcas. Is this because of the weird piece of... Is this because orcas are attacking boats around the Iberic Peninsula? True story. We reported this news. The animal kingdom has gone to war against us, friends. Free Willy is attacking sailing vessels. But is it happening in San Francisco? What has appeared that has left boaters and marinas on edge? A, pirates. B, sharks. C, orcas. I'll salute Nessa for being the only person to say A. It seems to be C is in the lead, orcas. Let's see if you're correct, shall we? Okay, the appearance of... The answer was A, pirates. Well done. It was pirates. Imagine actual pirates appeared in San Francisco Bay. They'd get destroyed so quickly. Or would they? Pirates have emerged. This news, by the way, coming from... Where was it coming from? Boatblurb.com. Pirates have emerged in San Francisco Bay, causing alarm among boaters and marinas. Major news outlets have reported on thieves targeting marinas and boaters during the night. These culprits use small watercraft to approach and employ tools like bolt cutters to access unoccupied boats, leading to theft of sailboats, dinghies, tools, and onboard motors. Pirates are... They're obviously looking for rum. Have you not seen the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, friends? Fake pirates. This is interesting point. Is this boatblurb.com just making a salacious headline? Were they wearing shiny stripy shirts or eye patches? Did they have parrots with them? If not, they weren't pirates. Okay, so there you go. That was the headline on that one. Let's do one more. Okay, so here we go. Canadian authorities race to capture 5 blank from a roadway spill. Yeah, this is a tough one. Canadian authorities race to capture 5 blank from a roadway spill. Las autoridades canadienses se apresuran a capturar 5 blank from a roadway spill vertido en la carretera. But what? 5 what? Is it A, 500 pigs? 500 cerdos. Is it B, 5 escaped convicts? Or C, 5 million bees? What are Canadian authorities racing to capture? Is it A, 500 pigs? B, 5 escaped convicts? Or C, 5 million bees? Ooh, this is a good one. A variety of answers. I think A is in the lead. I will salute Momabo for being the only person to say B, escaped convicts. But is that the correct answer? Well, let's see, shall we? Canadian authorities race to capture 5... The answer is C, 5 million bees. Jeez Louise, get a bigger net. Canadian authorities swiftly responded when 5 million bees were accidentally released on a roadway in Ontario after a truck transporting crates of hives tipped over. Jeez, imagine the horror. You're just driving behind a truck. Accident, slam on the brakes, woof, that was lucky. And then out of the back swarm 5 million bees. This piece of news coming from CNN. The incident occurred in Burlington, south of Toronto, when the straps securing the beehives loosened. Local police, with the assistance of 6 to 7 volunteer beekeepers, managed to safely return the majority of the bees to their hives. Wow, within a few hours. Like, how do you convince a bee to go back home? Guys, come on. Time over now. If it were the pigs, the authorities could practice here, I think is what the bridge is saying there. Oh, no, not the bees, says Min. That is difficult to solve, says the bridge. Bees are important, guys. Let's take care of them. True story. We need bees. We need bees really badly, and there are way fewer than there used to be. I would much rather face the pigs, says the bridge. Yeah, me too. Well, most bees don't go that far from their hives. Oh, really? Apparently, they find the queen and they all follow. God, I'm learning so much about bees, guys. You're learning.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Imagine that, though, the sheer horror. Being pursued by 5 million bees. Can you give me a second? That Teams meeting comes in. Jeez Louise, and imagine having to capture 5 million bees. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, look, that was today's show, the first show of the week. Oh, my God. Thank you so much, my friends, in participating on the best part of my day every single day. All you guys joining me in the chat. And, of course, Mama Bo for showing up today. It's always a pleasure to see you too. Guys, so many things you could have been doing this morning. An infinite number of things. But instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the absolute world. Guys, I will see you with more Probo Show madness for the rest of the week, tomorrow included. See you then.